Yeah, hi there, Asal. This is Michael. I am the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. It's summertime. Excuse my clothes here, but I'm just getting ready to swim in a few minutes with my boy. And I wanted to go ahead and listen to your integrated speaking practice test number 19. Also, I wanted to address the question that you posted in the email. You said, I have a lot of difficulty in these particular speaking types. I cannot understand very well when listening to the lecture. Do you have any solution for my problem? Yes, practice. That's exactly why I developed the reading, the listening, and the speaking parts of my online TOEFL course, because if you go through the reading, you'll develop your reading proficiency better, including your note-taking. If you go through the listening lessons, again, you'll develop your note-taking abilities much better, and you get a lot of great tips on how to improve your listening, and you can go through over 40 listening practice tests to improve your listening comprehension. Of course, if you go through the speaking area of my course, you get even more instruction on how to develop and organize your ideas. So in addition to focusing on the reading, listening, and the speaking areas of my course, you can also practice reading on a regular basis, like I always tell my students. You can also practice watching a lot of TV, and you will improve your listening proficiency and your note-taking abilities. You got to believe it. Just be patient. Just follow my tips, follow my lessons. You will continue to get better. Okay, so in this case, you're listening to a lecture.
A writing process, according to the professor, is include a 5-stage. First stage.
It's not include 5-stage, includes 5 stages. You want to make that plural.
In class workshop and choose the topic and develop the idea around the topic. The second stage is in class drafting review and plan for the essay and plan for the coherence essay. That the essay it will be interesting for a reader. And
you should say it. The second stage is when the student or the writer, you want to mention either student or writer, so we know that the whole purpose of this lecture is to help a writer go through these stages of the writing process in order to write a more developed and a more highly polished essay.
The third stage is in class peer review, and the students have to get the essays to someone else in order to review and get an advice and suggestion, and each students have to.
So suggestions on how to improve the writing, you probably should say.
Evaluate 3 essays in a class. And the fourth stage is the final draft review, and professor have opportunity to evaluate their students' essay from its first to 4th stage. And the 5th.
So I think the 4th stage is when the professor has an opportunity to evaluate the writing in its first 4 stages. You should probably say.
The stage and final stage is review the final draft and get a comment and suggestion on their final draft, and the students have 1 week to rewrite their essays and submit to their professor in order to get a better score.
So you're doing okay. You're having trouble, but you're explaining for the most part the most important ideas in the lecture, so you're definitely on the right track. You just have to remember that Rome was not built in a day, which means you're not going to improve all of your academic English proficiencies in just 1 or 2 months. It takes some time to build those things, but if you're patient, you will continue to get better. Okay, so on this one, I'm going to put you, I think overall it wasn't bad. I think that you included the most important points. You had some minor problems with your language use and also some minor problems with your delivery. So I'm going to put you at about 2.5 out of 4, 19 points out of 30. So with your pronunciation and also your language use, be careful about what's called syllable division and grammatical word endings. You should go to the pronunciation area of my course and review the lessons focusing on those in those areas. Specifically, again, syllable division and grammatical word endings. You can also work a little bit more on your intonation. You can study more in the pronunciation area of my course there. And anyway, thank you for completing the practice test.